watching. We're at Traverse City at Brilliant Books right on Front Street. With me is writer Kim Schneider, and we're talking about 100 things to do in Traverse City before you die. Kim, thanks for taking the time.
You're welcome. Thanks for inviting me.
All right, let's talk a little bit about you first, and we'll get to the book because you just had a kind of a release here at Brilliant Books, and it went very well. But let's talk a little bit about you. You were a news writer that became a travel writer. Kind of explain that.
Yes, I started out covering a variety of news beats, and then I started covering social issues and a lot of cultural things. I worked in Madison, Wisconsin, in the Twin Cities, and covering education. You had Somali immigrants and Hmong immigrants, and I've always been fascinated by people from other cultures, and came back to Michigan to be closer to family. Worked at Traverse Magazine, and then as the full-time travel writer for the Booth chain, which is the MLive Media Group now, and so got to explore a lot of the region, a lot of stories about Traverse City that I did full stories that ended up as blurbs in the book as I discovered my favorite things, but also now have the opportunity to travel to some of the places where I would write, the people came from that I'd write about before.
So you are fully immersed in what is happening in the Traverse City area. You kind of know it frontwards and backwards.
I do.
And you decided to put this together, right?
I did. So both living here and vacationing here. When I lived outside of the area, we had family here, so we would come back as tourists and visit Grandma and Grandpa and pick morels and go to the beach and do things. So my kids grew up coming here vacationing, and then we've been here for 17 years this time, and that whole time I've covered travel.
All right, so this is the book, 100 Things to Do in Traverse City Before You Die. Why 100?
Well, this was selected by the publisher. I like this book because it was an established city series. So there are dozens of cities across the country that Reedy Press has done this book about. So LA and Chicago and San Francisco, all over the country. And they had a set format, and they're continually expanding, and they wanted to do some more titles in Michigan, and I got approached to write one about Traverse City.
Okay, let's talk about what's inside the book. All right, so what would be on the list? What would be number 43, for example? I don't expect you to find number 43, but what?
I'll find it.
Oh, look at that! You found 43.
Wine down at a winery B&B, which is
okay.
actually a fun thing to do that I've done as a local.
Really?
There are times that, like Chateau Grand Traverse, this is an insider tip not in the book, but in the winter, January, February, March, and April, they have buy one night, get one night free. It's like $80 for 2 nights. You get a bottle of wine a night.
Oh, wow.
And you get to go and get away on this little kind of at-home escape.
Wow.
So much fun.
That's very good. Okay, I like this. Quickly, 27. Getting very close now.
Take
All right.
a 45th parallel selfie.
Okay, so all right.
It's so funny, but it tells the people where there are markers on the 45th parallel, and also a little bit of the 45th parallel lore, which I really had fun researching. There used to be a polar equator trail on the 45th parallel. It crosses the whole state. And there are a lot of legends about the 45th parallel, including that if you take a dip in the waters of the 45th, it will cure anything that ails you.
All right, the book is 100 Things to Do in Traverse City Before You Die. Kim Schneider is the author. We're here at Brilliant Books, but you can get it where? Just about anywhere, right?
Yes, you can get it. Also at Horizon, and I want to do a little pitch. I'm doing a signing there on the 5th of May, and it'll be carried at most of the bookstore, Cottage Books, Dog Ears Books in Northport, and online everywhere you buy books.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, talking about 100 things to do in Traverse City before you die. I'm Vic McCarty, My News 26.